Hey everybody, it's a mailbag. This one here is 2 items, and so I'm going to try not to pull out the packing slip. Item number 1 and item number 2. So the first one is this thing here. It's an adjustable LED trackball, and these 2 items, I should mention, are actually sponsored by you guys, as you guys faithfully use my affiliate links in the description. I get a little bit of Amazon money to spend every month, and this is what I bought this month. This is the TSUT B01 LED arcade trackball, and this is not the most massive trackball. It's made to be an upgrade for those 1-up arcade machines that they sell in like Walmart and things like that. So the way this is made to go is made to just be a direct replacement for that. And as you can see, you slide it around like a trackball. Now, a lot of trackballs are made to connect over PS2 ports or USB ports to the computer, but this being a real arcade one is not. And that means that I needed to get this. And let's see here. So there's a little wire thingy. And we've got this little circuit board, and this is what they commonly refer to as, I think, a 12-in-1. And the idea is that this is made for taking arcade controllers and making them, or arcade buttons and things like that, and making them USB. And so in this situation, we are using it. I think it's primarily for the spinners and the trackballs. So normally I build my own arcade controls, but this thing is like $12, and as you can see, it's pretty well made. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with this. So I am building a game called Hyperbowl. I had a full-size arcade cabinet that I built of it years ago, and I've already built the XP machine that I'm going to run one out of it now, and it's going to be kind of more of a compact version of it. So if you've never seen Hyperbowl, the way it works is you're rolling the bowling ball like this, except you can also curve it, and things like this, so you can kind of direct the ball down the alley, and it is a lot of fun. And so this is the trackball and the controller that I'm going to use to connect this thing to the computer. And together they came to about $55. So that's not necessarily cheap, but for a semi, this isn't exactly Hap. A Hap one would be like $150. But for a semi-arcade quality piece of kit, this is a pretty good deal, and really good reviews on Amazon. So look for this in an upcoming video, and I'll show it in action. Next up, we have this bag. Just a little inside baseball. This is being filmed about a couple of weeks after the trackball was undone. So let's see what we got here. Oh yes, okay. So this is not that exciting for you guys, but it's exciting for me. I am working on a project called Project Legacy, and it is my ultimate legacy computer. And so it has all of the slots and all of the capabilities of old computers. And you'll see we've got PS2 ports and things like that. But what I want to do is I want to put it in a remote location, so I don't have to have it sitting on a desk. And instead of just trying to extend the keyboard, video, and mouse ports, I think it's easier to use a KVM switch. And I might even mount one of these things in the wall. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but when you see what I have going over there, which is awesome, you'll understand why I might want to mount something in the wall. The primary way I want to use this thing is, instead of using it as a monitor, keyboard, and mouse switch, I want to use it as a keyboard and mouse extension. So in other words, it's like, instead of having to plug my keyboard and mouse in the back of the computer, I'll be able to plug it in on my desk or in the wall or wherever I decide to put it. And I know that's a little convoluted. It is kind of funny that this thing has something Sharpied on there. I kind of want to know what that is. I mean, they are Sharpieing something off the back of this thing, so I feel like I have to know. But that is the point of this. So let's see if we can do a little detective work. So for those of you who've never used these kind of containers, looks like blood. They're fantastic. Maybe you get one for yourself and then give one to your wife or whatever for nail polish or something like that, or for her own IPA. But it's kind of nice because you can keep this thing like this and you just squeeze it and you're going to get it on there. But I'm going to try to get that off. Oh, they had put some fake branding on there as if it was certified, and I'm taking it that it wasn't. So yeah, that's really funny. So instead of changing out the sticker, they sent somebody through there with a Sharpie to Sharpie over their fake certification thing. So I really hope this works because I've rubbed the crap out of the label, but that's what's going on under the Sharpie. You can't put something under a Sharpie and expect me to not be curious about it. So I think this thing was like 15 bucks. I'll have a link in the description as always. But you know, I was looking at getting just extension cables for my keyboard and mouse. But for this, you get 2 sets of extension cables. You get the box. I don't think this one requires any external power. It won't take any external power. It is a passive switch. I'm sure it's grabbing it off of probably the VGA. I don't know. I guess maybe even the keyboard port would have 5 volts to it. So this is the KVM switch that is not certified. Next up, we've got this one. Another Amazon here. Oh, yeah. See? Oh, did we? Hopefully we didn't show any addresses. Everybody's gonna come stalk me anyway. But these are LED strip lights, and I came really close to asking Banggood or somebody like that to send me some of these, but there were a couple things in mind. This particular set had a lot of reviews, and it had been on Amazon for a long time, and I sort of thought, you know what, I want to be able to buy more of them and not just have them match and all that kind of stuff. And then I also thought that, you know, I want to do less product reviews. I mentioned that in my last video. I am doing less product reviews and stuff like that, so I may take some more you know, some more LEDs for free. I mean, I'm not going to turn down free LEDs, but you know, I am cutting down the number of product reviews I'm doing on the channel. So I bought these with my own money, and I guess technically I bought these with the money you guys sent me on Amazon. So it comes with its own 12 volt power supply, 1.2 amps max. We've got some 3M style hooks, so instead of having the adhesive back, it looks like it used these hooks, which may work for my situation. It's kind of funny. It did say that it was, I bought like whatever it was, a longer amount of it. I wasn't really expecting it to come in 2 rolls. I guess that's fine. I was gonna have to cut it anyway. But this, this is, oh, it is adhesive backed. That's sweet. This is individually addressable LEDs, and I have tons of the ones that are all the same colors. But, oh, and it's the rubber coated, nice. I have a project going on over there that is, I'll tell you a little bit about it. It is an open source desk that I'm building where it has tons and tons of panels. And the panels are interchangeable, and you can put Arduino projects or other things like that in it. In fact, let me give you a little test. Hold on one second. So the panels are like this size, which is 11 by 16 and a half. And the idea is that you can put your projects in here and pop them in the desk. And then if you want to switch it out with something else, you remove it and put in a different project. But the idea is that I am using this as sort of a showcase of what Arduinos can do. And I'm also open sourcing all these things for you guys so that you can make whatever you want. Even if you want to make your own desk, I'm going to give you all the code. I'm going to give you the server code and all that stuff. So you can't have something like that without having LEDs. And if I'm going to take the time to put LEDs in my own office, I'm not going to do the ones that are all red or all blue or all whatever. I am going to do the individually addressable ones. And so that's what these are, the 50-50 of them. And I think it's something like 30 some feet here. I'm guessing each roll is like 16 feet. So yeah, I got 2 of these, and they will come up. I don't know that I'll make a video about the installing, maybe the video of the programming. But yeah, so these are them. I guess we could plug it in, right? I don't really. It's got some kind of controller that does something. So, I mean, that's not going to tell you a whole lot. All the RGB are on at the same time right now. I don't have this thing programmed in this programming controller is the wrong polarity for this. So I'm sure there's some kind of we got this. So how's that work? The colors are different. That's hilarious. I'm guessing. Oh, whoa! That is Look at that, the way it's coming down. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm so glad I did this. That is so trippy. And that whatever marketing person decided that they were going to add this pattern to the demo is freaking genius, because like I am sold that they have thought to do something that would work on the roll as the demo project. So I mean, you know, again, I haven't put them in practice, but that is just absolutely sweet. So these are the color changing light up your life LED strip lights. They're called Dream Color Kitchen Christmas, made in China new. They were about $40 on Amazon. So they were an investment, but I am excited to throw my office into party mode. Look at that, even out here. That's sweet. Okay, anyway, on to the next item. I've got a couple things that are open, and the reason why this is open is because I bought an Elgato Stream Deck at a yard sale, basically on the other side of Florida. So I was out yard selling with my buddy and saw this thing pop up that this was available and grabbed it. And so this is the Elgato Stream Deck. There was a guy on the other side of Florida, super nice guy, who had started streaming and then it just wasn't for him. And as somebody who does YouTube, you know, I understand it's not for all of us. It's not even for me. But this is the Stream Deck, and I will probably do a review about this, maybe from like I'm not a streamer, obviously. I'd love to do some live streams on the channel, but more from a productivity perspective. But I knew this was a toy, and you guys may have seen my video. I'll try to remember to link to it. It is where I was calling it a streaming deck. It's a funny video. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever made. So if you haven't watched it, highly recommend you check it out. But I made my own version of the Stream Deck. But this thing is awesome. I have my pluggable dock over here so I can plug into my actual computer. And when this thing boots up, I'm able to have all of my favorite programs that I use here. So I've got, you know, my different file transfer programs, my VNC programs, Postman, calculator, all that kind of stuff. And what I really like about it is that not only can I have these, 15 buttons on here, that these things can also be menus. And I can see on the camera right now that this thing is not doing the vibrancy of the colors justice. So I'm going to be switching from an iPhone 6 to an iPhone 8. My wife just upgraded hers, so maybe it'll take better video. But when I push this button here, which I can't actually show you all my companies, I realize that, but when I push this button, it goes to another screen, and that screen is all of my current projects that I'm working on. So when I push the button, not only does it load up my code for that project, but it loads up the database for that project, and it loads up the front end view of that project. So one button does all three at once. So hey, if I'm getting ready to work on project XYZ, I push project XYZ. Atom opens up with all my code. My database program opens up with my database. Chrome opens up with the actual front end view of the site, and it is fan-freaking-tastic. And so if I'm using Discord, I can push this and it will put my Discord in streaming mode so that all my other beeps and boops will go away. Just a very, very cool thing. Is it necessary? No, but is it nice? It is very nice. And I paid $50 for this, and that's about the price that, you know, it made it a no-brainer for me. I think it's probably a no-brainer at about $80, $150. You've got to be a real streamer to probably, or just a baller in terms of money, to decide to buy something like this. But man, at $50, it was a no-brainer, and the only real thing it had, just a little tiny nick right there. But I've got more than that on my knuckle. So Stream Deck, I may do a productivity video about this thing because it is flippin' awesome. I'm going to do a couple of yard sale finds real quick. I picked up a couple of these terminal strips, and terminal strips are not cheap. They are really expensive. These are some ones from AliExpress and all that. But you know, you buy something like this, and I almost always have to use a flathead screwdriver on them, or the absolute perfect Phillips head, because they strip. You know, you've got a little screw coming down here that grabs the wire and it comes loose and all that. But then this is one from 1962, June 12th, 1962. And this is, I don't know, it feels like a Bakelite or, you know, some kind of ceramic or something like that. It's a plastic, but it's a thick, heavy plastic with a solid screw and like a nice springy mechanism and all that to make sure you grab the wire. And these things were just, and I mean, again, 1962, and it's not corroded. You know, just an amazing piece of, you know, simple engineering. A nice place to put your screws to hold on. Phillips head things that are still not stripped out, you know, terminals that are still not corroded, you know, just a heavy device. They were $2 for $1 and I could not pass them up. So I got some 1962 terminals, and I'm going to do something with these. I mean, these basically deserve to be at least semi-visible. They're just such quality devices. I used to use this style. I would use a better one than this, but when I was doing my projects for the government, my bigger projects, like I would use these terminal strips all the time, but they were sort of a heavier white version of them, and so yeah, they were okay, but I mean they were always stripping and, you know, always letting the wire loose. Nothing this awesome. This is another thing. There's one missing. It's out of the package. This was an Amazon purchase, but these things, these things are little Ethernet combiners, couplers. That's what they're called, and these are actually really high quality, which is the reason why I put them on the channel. So I needed to extend a cable for a PoE camera, so I didn't need a ton of throughput or whatever, but I had a video camera that operated over power over Ethernet, and I needed to move that switch further away from where it was originally located. Only one wire wouldn't make it, and so basically a 5-pack of these was cheaper than an individual one. And these things had really good reviews, really good holding power. You can see these are actually decently made components, and it just made sense to get 5 of them, so I got 5 of them. This thing, this is $1. So I went to one of the world's longest yard sales. It was 100 miles through North Carolina, and it was garbage. I would find more generally just going out in my neighborhood on a Saturday, but I did pick this up because it was kind of fun. This is one of those switches when you're working on cars. If you're working on cars by yourself, make sure it's out of gear, and you can start the car from under the hood. And but I just thought, you know, for $1, again, I overpaid, but I hadn't bought anything in like 3 days of yard selling, so it's kind of cool. Just a little simple switch with this trigger mechanism, so I thought for sure I can do something fun with that, and I totally overpaid for it, but there's that. And then speaking of overpaying, I think this was 50 cents, but this was fun. So when it's a little screwdriver here, sort of a ratcheting screwdriver mechanism. I think you turn this, but then yeah, you turn this, and all of a sudden your ammo of bits comes out. So I thought that was kind of silly. Again, I'll probably never use it. I might keep it in my vehicle. I might stick it like in a back compartment of my vehicle just so I have a little bit driver. Maybe I'll put some more useful bits in here than whatever is in. You know, make sure you got a number 2 and a Robertson and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So this is the cheap yard sale made in Taiwan thing that I got. And there's one more thing in here that I have no idea what it is. So let's open it up. Oh, sweet. Okay. So this is in a way smaller compartment than I was expecting, but these are Bojack 400 LEDs in 10 colors. We've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, white, pink, purple, UV. What do they call that? Green. I'm guessing that's a green. They call it chartreuse. Chartreuse, and warm white. And there is a reason why I bought these, and I will show you. So you may have seen on my channel that I am a giant fan of these LED holders. I think they look really nice. You put an LED in there, and you know, you put the little washer and the little nut and screw the thing on, and they just look really nice. They protect the LED because the LED pretty much stays countersunk, but I think they are a nice, classy way to mount an LED to a project. When I was in Alaska, somehow, I don't know if I ordered them wrong or if they shipped the wrong ones, but I wound up with an extra 100 of these 3mm bezels, and I have very few 3mm LEDs. Occasionally a kit will come with some 3mm LEDs or something like that, but I had very few of them, and I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna have 100 of these bezels for my projects, then I want to have some actual LEDs that I can put in them, because the bezels are the expensive part. And what I was thinking, we gotta look through chartreuse. What I was thinking is that I wanted to, you know, like, these are cheap. These are essentially free for me because I've had them for years and never used them. And so there's a lot of things on the new desk I'm building or whatever that I might just use these little status indicators and stuff like that. I don't need a ton of light, but I mean, that works. And so the way these things work is that you, I'll leave that connected. Well, actually, I guess I can't leave that connected. You put this in here, and I'll take one of these out, and I'm gonna put this through. It's amazing. Like, you hear 3mm and 5mm LEDs, but it's amazing how much smaller these things are. So let's see if I can thread the needle. There we go. All right, so this thing, did I twist them? All right, this thing just goes on the button, and it's sort of like a little plug. Let me see if I can get you up there. It's sort of like a little plug that fits on the back of the LED, and then that makes it sort of jam in. Now, I usually put a little hot glue on there anyway, but I just think that's nice looking. Like, I think that having, I think that you're not getting good focus on that, but I just think it's a nice looking way to do an LED. And since I had so many holders, there was basically no reason not to have the LEDs. So yeah, those are some 3mm LEDs. And but the real star of the show are the holders. And so if you don't have some of them, you want some of them. I think the only other thing I have, and this is kind of more of a question for you guys. I had a friend who bought a laser, and I'm considering buying a bigger laser. I don't know, like, I really want a 100-watt laser. My wife is doing a lot of crafty stuff. If you haven't seen her craft room, I highly recommend you check that out. But this is a Roida controller, and for any of you who know lasers, like, this is what you want to operate anything. Like, this would be the controller for something up to, you know, 150 watt, just massive laser that's the size of a closet. And but this one came in and the screen didn't work, and so I thought this is worth tearing down to see if maybe I can get the screen to work. And if I can get the screen to work, then maybe I can upgrade my old K40 laser. And even if I don't use it regularly, it's just kind of a fun little side project. So if any of you have any idea why the screen wouldn't work on this, like if you just dealt with these controllers or whatever, feel free to comment in the description. Otherwise, I'm going to tear the thing down. No harm, no foul. They sent him a replacement, and so this was getting ready to go in the bucket, so I took it. The other thing I need to figure out is what these pin voltages are and things like that before I blow the dang thing up. So anyway, that is the mailbag. I hope you had fun. You know, yeah, just enjoying doing this stuff. I'm trying to make videos that I enjoy doing. Making videos costs me money. If I'm not working, then I'm over here making videos, then I'm not making money coding. So I want to do things that I enjoy, and I want to do things that you enjoy, and I want to make things that you find worthwhile. So that's why I'm moving over to more projects, and I think everybody seems to like mailbags, so I'm going to keep doing mailbags, if nothing else, just for me. But anyway, this is my haul. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.